I am Alex Matthews. I'm the National Chair of Restore the Fourth, which is a Fourth Amendment advocacy organization. We are here outside Boston Police Headquarters, the second floor of which is occupied by the Boston Regional Intelligence Center, which is your local community spy center. Fusion centers across the nation have been documented to harass peaceful activists, but the one thing that they have not done is to successfully thwart any terrorist attacks. So the whole premise on which they have obtained their funding from state governments and from the Department of Homeland Security is false. We are calling for the spy centers to be shut down.
What I wanted to talk about a little bit was just resources and priorities. One of our local heroes, Carlos Arredondo, who I know pretty sure that everybody standing around here is familiar with him, not just from his heroic actions last April 15th, the finish line of the Boston Marathon, but of course from his presence at Occupy Boston, his presence in the protest community for many, many years, and of course his wife, Melita. There wasn't really much attention paid to them by the public media, by the media at least, until the bombings. But it turns out that there actually was some attention being paid to them. Carlos had been arrested on the day of Ted Kennedy's funeral for being caught up in a raucous moment and certainly not doing anything that warranted arrest. Charges were later dropped, and his wife had been being watched by the Boston Police Department. We have it right there in the report, and it really blows me away. As a journalist here speaking, I'll say that different publications and news outlets can report on this, can report on Carlos over and over and over, and fail to acknowledge this ironic twist. It could be a slippery slope to link this this lapse in judgment and how resources are used to connect that directly to what happened last April. At the same time, we can say that this is what they clearly weren't doing, and this is what they were doing.
Does it work? Does it actually demonstrate the value that was proposed when some of these intelligence assets were created, when some of these information sharing processes were created? Absolutely not. They're working very hard. They're working in the background. They're ready to surge in the case of need, but really there's never any need. There's a consistent background level analysis of American citizens. Some of the research is looking at free speech activists like you and like me. And I just want to say in closing that in particular it is that type of pressure, it's that type of government operation, it's that is the best and most evident hallmark of tyranny. It is a uniquely un-American and anti-American activity. When we talk about Syria, we talk about Mubarak in Egypt, when we talk about tyranny in East Asia and any military junta, when we talk about our political enemies or our political interlocutors, and we say those people aren't like us, they don't have what we have, we say that they do this stuff. We say that they do this kind of thing, that they put this kind of pressure on their freedom of speech activists, and that freedom of speech is a fundamental right.
We're going to head on over into Boston Police Headquarters with a Freedom of Information Act request, and we are going to ask to speak to a representative from the Boston Regional Intelligence Center.
Okay, so the Freedom of Information Act, that paper was to legal department. Okay, so we'll stand here and just wait for legal department.
Okay, you can do that. Thank you. What's your name?
I'm Sergeant Marty Kraft.
Marty Kraft.
Will the privacy officer from the BRIC be coming down?
There'll be somebody legal from legal representation, legal department.
Okay, but not the privacy officer from the BRIC, who is supposed to talk to the public?
No, it's been referred to legal.
So I did come in earlier and was advised that they would be in communication with me regarding the process. Mm-hmm. That was several days ago, and I haven't heard anything back. Mm-hmm. And so it is something that I will need to know as to what the process is if I am able to follow it.
Okay, you're doing the Freedom of Information, is that correct?
I am doing the Freedom of Information Act request.
It's all under the government process of what it says what you need to do. You want to leave that? I can deliver it to them.
And I'm also requesting to meet with the privacy officer.
That's today. There's like huge meetings going on, and everybody's tied up.
Can I make an appointment to speak with the privacy officer of the BRIC?
Make an appointment. The legal advisor advised me to tell you there's a process for serving that freedom of information. And that's what you need to know. And being a gentleman that this is probably not the first place you've served the freedom of information forms to other places. I know he's going to come down and meet with you.
I'm very happy to follow whatever the procedure is, but I do want to stick around so that I can understand what the procedure actually is. Otherwise, it's simply me heading off without being any further forward in terms of what information I have.
I can deliver that to the legal advisor's office for you.
I understand that, but I would like to understand in an ongoing way and to be able to publicise what the procedure is for conducting FOIA requests with the BRIC. Not everyone can do what I can do, which is to come down here physically and to submit these to you. And so I'd like to know what the procedure is.
I'm going to explain it one more time, so we're both on the same page. Okay. I spoke to legal. I spoke to BRIC. BRIC is not going to be speaking with you. Legal advised me to tell you that is a proper way to serve that freedom of information, and you should be well aware of how to serve it. So, and you're acknowledging that you do know the way.
I actually don't know what the procedure is that they want me to follow.
Whatever the normal procedure is for Freedom of Information Act. That's all it is. But they said they can submit it that way. That's it.
Okay.
So I don't think you're going to get anywhere today. And
okay. So I guess there it is.
Understand that there is a formal, proper way to serve that, and you should be well aware of that.
And it appears, and this is absolutely not your fault, that the procedure as regards to BRIC for whether they will meet with the public is that they won't meet with the public.
Well, that's not the question that you're asking me.
There are two separate questions.
Right.
There's the FOIA stuff, and then there's
to be served. That paper needs to be
officer.
served, and that serve's going to be served the legal way, how it's supposed to the process of it being served.
Which I'm very happy to do.
That's all it is.
And the privacy officer of the BRIC, and in fact anybody from the BRIC, is refusing to meet with us. Not because there's a procedure for FOIA requests, but because they won't meet with the public. And that's a shame.
That's your opinion.
Well, it seems to be what is
right
happening
now,
here.
there's a lot of meetings. Everybody's tied up at the marathon and things that happen. The events in the city of Boston are overwhelming right now with the amount of people that are going to be coming to the city in the next week. So there's a lot of pre-planning and things of this nature.
So I'm very happy to set up an appointment with them. Doesn't matter how far out it is.
I think you can do that through.
And that's not the FOIA stuff. That's something separate.
Here's what it is. I believe it's as we have an agreement that you're aware of how to file a Freedom of Information Act.
No, I'm aware that I've been told by the Boston Police Department that there is a procedure, and now I have to go out and find out by myself what that procedure is. So,
so I'm going to wrap this up.
Yep.
So we're going to be all set.
Well, we kind of have to be all set.
Okay.
But it's very disappointing.
If you found our reporting valuable and you want to support us, please like and share our content. Follow Bay State Examiner on Facebook and BS Examiner on Twitter, and stop by baystateexaminer.com. If you want to support more of our reporting, please consider donating to us directly. A link to our donation page is in the description. Thanks.